Morning, everyone. How are you guys doing?
Morning.
Um, Paul is in transit, so I offered to kick off the meeting for him this morning. Looks like we've got a few more folks joining, so I'll give it a moment.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Good.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I believe that we're today on the agenda, Paul had said, or Paul had communicated to me that the OPI team would be showing us the update of the website. Does anybody have more information about that than I do?
Yeah, the website team is actually on the call, Barry Hall and Elena Davis.
Oh,
And
great.
so the team had been reviewing what they sent us last week and provided a few feedback. And I think they're going to walk us through kind of what they updated and get final approval so the team can go ahead and do their thing.
Great, great.
Yeah, I think, Barry, if you want to share your screen and show the latest updates that you've made based on the feedback from the team.
Sure.
And I'm going to go on video mute for a moment if you'll pardon me.
Okay. Okay, so here's the homepage. The header is pretty much the same. News is the same. And then with the working groups, I've got two options. This is option number one. It's kind of a cardy kind of thing, kind of breaking away from what was there before, which was just a bunch of text. So yeah, it's kind of, yeah. So that's that there. And there's a bit of animation here on the video box. One of the mentions was a bit more animation towards the bottom of the page. So,
Hey, Barry,
and there's-
sorry, does that
Yeah.
play automatically or you have to press play?
I think you'd have to press the button. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And that's pretty much the same. And then we go to second version, header the same. It's just more about the working groups, just another option. It's a bit of animation there.
Morning.
And these pages were using a darker background instead of the white behind the type and knocking out the type. Here's the join page. Governing board, still waiting on some content here. I do have a list, Elena, if you want it, what's missing or we can chase up.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yep. Yeah.
I should
I
be able
think
to
this-
provide you an image of Tim Michaels if you guys want to circle up with me.
Okay. And then working groups. I introduced a little icon that kind of ties up with the first version. That's it.
Hey, y'all, this is Paul. I joined.
Hi, Paul.
Hello.
Hi, Paul. Wonderful. What our next steps that folks are going to provide any more feedback, or this is all the incorporated feedback, correct? And then to update whatever
Looks like-
images still
Looks
haven't
like
been
you've
provided.
already incorporated some of the feedback.
Yep.
Yeah, they have incorporated the feedback, so it'd be good to get the final approval in this meeting so that we can start developing to meet our timeline.
Mhm.
Great.
So Barry, since I just joined a few minutes late, can I have you scroll down the page? I wanted to just.
Sure thing. Yeah. This is version number one of the homepage. The working groups have two options.
Okay.
There's just some lower maps in there for now. We'll just have like a sentence there.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
And I had a question on the members. So
Mhm.
we've got our premier members listed here. We don't have general members. Is it normal to not list the general members and only list the premier members?
It
Yeah,
usually
Elena.
depends on how many logos that you have and how long the homepage is. It is pretty common if you have a lot of members to just show the top tier on the homepage and then
Mhm.
link them off to the full members page where you can see everybody.
Okay, so we would have a full members page, then that would have premier and then general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But yeah, if
Yeah.
there's going to be any sensitivity where you do need to show everybody, like we can certainly do that too.
Yeah, I would want them somewhere on the site. They don't have to be on this front page, but I would like to see them somewhere on here.
We
Yeah.
could put a CTA at the bottom too, Elena, maybe that brings us to the members page. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or this here. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Here's the second version of the working groups. Just another idea, less busy, with a bit of animation. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
And then the video is the same and the footers are the same. So
I kind of like the second one, but that's just me. I kind of like this one.
yeah, I like it's the other one's a bit busy for me. I do like this one a bit better, but either one I think works. So if we go over to next page, join, black background instead of the white, it's a lot better.
Mhm.
And governing board, still some content to come, but looks a lot better, I think.
Okay, so it does look like we need to separate out the TSC and the governing board. They're all lumped together right now.
Oh, okay.
So I would want to have the TSC have a separate list. So
Okay.
mhm.
We have them all on one page and just have governing board in the first section and then have a header for TSC.
Yeah,
Or-
I think that would be fine with me.
Okay.
And I think
Actually,
I
what
think I have them separated on that on the creative brief document.
Okay.
that I've been putting all that information. I think I've got them separate there.
Okay, I'll have a look at that.
And you might look to see if you can do 2 columns side by side for the TSC and the board. So,
Okay.
how people do grids, but in this case, do 2 columns with a bounding box around each column. And then this layout you have here for the internal is fine.
Okay.
Mhm. Would that screw up on mobile if you did 2 columns?
Not necessarily. Well, I mean, I don't know. It just depends on how well it fits.
Yeah.
Look, yeah. Okay. And the last one is the working groups. Some abstract icons there.
Okay. And this is just the same content that we get from our current website. Good. Register scheduled meetings, Slack channel. Joe, do each of these have their own GitHub repo as well, or multiple GitHub repos, and we wouldn't want to point per working group to one repo?
Each one has their own GitHub repo set for the outreach group.
Right. Okay.
The 4 working ones each have their own GitHub repo as the base GitHub repos. Remember, I have that chart that shows the layout of all the repos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and each of these has their own repo.
Okay.
Maybe we add a call to action button at the bottom of each section that points to the GitHub repo.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that'll be easy to do.
And Gio, I'd be able to find that slide. That's in just the last governing board update, right?
Yeah,
The update deck.
it's been in the last 3 or 4 governing board updates.
Okay. So, Barry, I'll go ahead and grab that and that slide and put it in the, in that creative brief
Great.
document.
Great. Okay.
So it sounds like you're leaning a little bit more toward the second version of the homepage than with that one paragraph for the working groups.
I like. Yeah.
Pop over to the other one.
Yeah, I think I like that one better, but others.
Just with the news there, there'd be a lot of copy there. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Mhm.
So I think we will just need a little blurb from you guys for the working groups.
Anybody have any strong objection to going with the second one for the working groups?
I think people are used to single page sites, and there'll be a set of folks who will click and go in there and look at it because they're looking for it. For others, we need to put everything we want them to see in the first page itself. So while I
Okay.
agree that, Paul, that we may want to reduce, make it a little smaller, but maybe there's something in between where we just keep the working groups in the main page, and overall it'll still be a little smaller than top. Maybe I'm saying something in between 1 and 2 choices.
Mhm.
So can you go
Just
back
keep
to
the
one
working groups here. Yeah.
and maybe not have a description, but just have the names of the working groups? And each of those be a link to a further description?
Yeah, and again, if we can make it less verbose by taking working group from each of the titles, we can just put WG.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because on top we are saying it's working groups anyway, so it
Yeah.
just becomes less verbose and becomes a little small and stays here. Because
Okay.
that does give an overview of what it is.
I mean, if you just get rid of the word working group in each of the bold titles, because it says working groups and it's got a bounding box again, it's got a separate
Mhm.
section, then you don't lose anything
Yep.
and it becomes cleaner.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll do that. Okay.
And the videos themselves, there are 2 sections here. One has demos and then something else on top. Again, they can be like next to each other with a small title below or above that will again compress it into 2. Find ways to reduce this page so that it doesn't have as much scrolling, if that's the intent. If you put both the videos, if it doesn't look busy, then we can try that out.
So is there another video to sit next to the demo? Is that in the briefing doc?
I thought this page had 2 of them. There's one above and one below, right? The option 1, I thought, has 2 videos. Am I seeing it correctly?
Oh, no, it only has the one video. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's only, we only have 2 demo videos. I think we have
It's good to put a thing to the YouTube channel, because that's where
yeah.
those are. I think getting people there is going to be useful. Maybe more useful than the demo itself, right?
Mhm.
So this should be more of a call out to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, again, just my opinion. Yeah.
Okay.
You could add a CTA button at the bottom, view more videos.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah, I think we'll go with that.
So, yeah, I like the idea to call out to the YouTube channel, instead of just putting this video here. But then maybe you could put, the, 3 recent videos links or something like that. You
Mhm.
know how some sites give you links to recent videos?
I think
Yes,
that's what the up higher on the page was. Like
So-
the most recent news, latest news.
yeah,
Yeah,
No,
Kind
no,
of.
but- okay, but that's different than, here's a selection of videos, or here's the, here's where to get started in the video list. Like
yeah.
3 main videos or 4 main videos, a little 2x2 grid, and you
Mm-hmm.
basically, here's the YouTube channel, and then here's 4 videos to get you started, or something like that.
Yeah,
Right,
I
like a
think that'll be-
teaser kind of thing, yeah.
that'll be great after the SmartNIC Summit and we have those videos to post. Because at this point, we have 2 demos and then recordings of meetings.
Okay,
That's what we have on the YouTube channel.
I mean, the other thing we could do is we could cross pollinate with the network storage forum, the SNIA network storage forum video that have, general overviews. I mean,
Yeah,
so that's another thing we could do is we could say, hey, we have a YouTube channel that's being populated. Here's where to get started for that. Essentially, a link to a playlist or something like that, and we could put together a playlist of the videos we do have. And that
Again,
way
I'll just need one more bundle.
Yeah, and then what we could do is also say, and our, I don't know what we're supposed to say, but our sister organizations have, are also developing content and point to SNIA and anything else, right?
yeah. We do have we have all the alpha event videos, and we have 1, 2, 3 webinars that we've done. I'm just looking at YouTube to find what we've actually got there.
I was thinking of the overview webinars, but something like just, again, it'll develop over time, and we'll eventually have better content, and as this goes on, but as a spot in the website where you'd be like, oh, I can go to the YouTube channel.
Mm.
Yeah, and I see that a lot in sites as well, and it's fairly effective advertising.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I'll come up with a layout, like a 2x2 grid layout, and
Okay.
that'd be, you can change it.
And if
Okay,
you could update the creative brief with the 4 videos that you want us to put for lunch.
Okay. So. So I need to list you the 4 videos. I need to put the in group get slide in that deck. Did I have any other?
we're going to split the members in the governing board, but I think that's in the briefing doc. I think you
Yeah,
already
that is
marked
already
that up,
done.
so,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay,
Just want to make sure I don't drop any of my tasks.
right.
Yeah, I think that's good, and then I think we'll be able to get started developing. So that's exciting.
Yes. Yeah. I think we're good.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I'll do these now, Elena. I'll make the changes now, or I'll start anyway, and I'll let you know. I'll give you an update in Asana.
Okay, perfect.
You can have a look. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Barry.
Thank you. That's good. Yeah, I think it's looking good. Yeah.
Yeah, it is looking good. I like it.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Okay. Is that
All
it?
right. I think that's it for this, and we're going to move on to other business that we've got in the in the outreach committee meeting here.
Okay,
Worthwhile.
thanks a lot, everybody.
All right, thanks.
Team.
See ya. Bye-bye.
All right, also, my second agenda item here is we have a 10-minute keynote that we can deliver, that we're going to deliver at SmartNIC Summit. Joe and I were chatting about it, and it sounds like we've got, so Venkat, myself, and Joe will all be there. And we were thinking one of the three of us should do that keynote session. Thoughts? And then what we want to accomplish in that keynote session would be nice to nail down as well.
So I think let's do the what first. I think what we should accomplish is say, you know, OPI is going strong, you know, show the member companies, show the names of the board and TSC members, show the associated, you know, and then list companies that are contributing but aren't formal board members, in particular AMD. And then what we should do is say, you know, we show the working groups, and basically say what the overall development is trying to achieve. We could show the slide with all the GitHub stuff and say, you know, it's an active group. The API and lifecycle groups have really gotten into the details, you know, say what they're currently working on. So for the provisioning and lifecycle, we can say, you know, solving DPU PCIe residency is very, very important going forward, especially as you get more than one DPU in a box, and the DPUs have a semi-independent existence from the server they're in. We have to solve the PCI issues. And then for the API group, we can say, you know, we're, you know, heavily focused on the variety of networking models and how that all comes together, plus the abstraction layers throughout the DPU, and making sure that those are standardized at some level, something like that. I think that talk track would fill 10 minutes easily, and we don't.
Oh yeah, I think that'd fill it easily.
So I think that should be the talk track. Thoughts?
Okay. How much of a here's what of just an overview of what OPI is and the history of it? Do we want any of that?
I mean, yeah, I mean, you could spend, you know, a minute on that, right? Just, but I wouldn't, you know, dwell on the ins and outs of the history and like our requirements and things like that, right? Because the reality is we're shit, you know, while those still sort of anchor the thinking, everything shifts constantly.
Yeah.
I think it's better to tell people what we're actually, what, you know, what the team is actually doing now, what the standards group is, or the consortium is doing now.
Then I assume some call to action at the end.
And yeah, well, then the call, and then yeah, then we show the standard
Call to action, join
minutes.
us. Here's the Slack,
yeah, and you don't have to
list.
pay anything if you just want to come do some work or learn. You don't have to pay anything. It's all open and free. You only have to pay if you want
Voting.
voting rights and you know, that sort of thing. I don't know, Venkat, you're remarkably silent for the. What do you think?
No, it's a lot to say in 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah, so it's a broad brush through all those, right? So again, I think we have to show show the full scope. And, you know, I would anticipate that the kind of overview in history is minute and a half. The member companies and people are a minute. That slide's a minute. I would anticipate the, you know, here's how we're structured in terms of the working groups, and their mission is 2 minutes.
Sounds
Uh,
about right.
So we're at 5. The repos, you know, just showing the repos is a minute, because you're not going to explain the repo structure. You just want to show that we actually have one, and what the topics are. People can read faster than you can talk.
Yep.
The call to action is a minute, so we're at 7 minutes. And so you have, you know, we would have 3 minutes to, you know, sort of in the middle of all that. So maybe what we're trying to accomplish is another minute.
A couple of
At a slot.
a couple of suggestions, Joe. I think I'm not sure what we mean by history, but I think more than history, I think a little more forward-looking might help us. And another suggestion there is the kinds of companies, right? We have participation from the folks who are building the DPUs. I mean, at each layer, right? There are some of us who are, you know, are the users of the technology. I think in even classifying the participation and looking forward and spending a little more time maybe gives more clarity to folks, and a little more time on the working groups if we have extra minutes. And the third would be on, I think we should say join and not get into maybe this you pay, you play, otherwise this, and you know, that's typically true for most organizations. So we don't need to avoid. So that saves us a little bit of time.
I think what we could do though is say, you know, much like an open source project, there's no, you know, you don't have to pay an upfront fee to join. You can just come work or something like that. We don't have to emphasize the other side of it. But I think saying that there is no fee to just come participate and work, you know, provide ideas and do work, and even just learn, right? Even just get involved so you can understand, you know, what's going on. I think that's important to say.
Agreed. Mark has a good point. He just put it in the chat. I think that talk about the lab.
Right. Good point.
Put that after or before what we're trying to achieve. So show the Git repos, talk about the lab.
Yeah, I think we should talk about what we're trying to achieve before we show the repos. So I think we should do the member companies, then what we're trying to achieve, and then the working groups and the lab. We should put the lab on the working group sheet.
Would it make sense to show an example or give an example of someone deploying an app or creating an application using OPI?
Not enough time.
Oh, okay. It's only 10 minutes, you said.
Yeah, only 10 minutes.
Only 10 minutes. If we had 20 minutes, then yeah, that would be a good idea. But at 10 minutes, basically, we're just trying to, you know, cram our overview down people's throats. I mean, the other approach we could take is we could talk just about the mission, what we're trying to achieve. But I think transferring more information in this case is probably better, because what we could do is a kind of a fluffy rah thing. But I don't know, for this audience and this show, I'd rather transfer, you know, try to do a high rate of information transfer, and it'll set the hook for them. It gives us another place that we've posted kind of our overview, because again, most of the slides we do are meant to be read offline as well. They're not, you know, they're not as complete as like a white paper, but they are meant to be read offline as well. And you know, people can now go to the website, they can go to the GitHub itself, they can join calls, and like that. I don't know what you guys think, but that was why I was thinking of it that way.
Yeah, I agree. I think slides could have a little more information because that gets referenced. Just thinking out loud, that another way could be, do we want to just, if it's just really 10 minutes, and then we want a similar outcome from our website, do we want to just use our website to walk through the whole thing? The main content of the website is the main message in a 10
Oh, I
minute.
see what you're saying. So just,
Open the website, just walk through each section. If the intent and goal is same, that's a good way. But I do see the value of slides that people read off like.
I mean, it's essentially the same similar flow and content to the website, but I'd rather have discrete slides because you never know if you're going to be able to open the website or not. I mean, you could do essentially screenshots of the website, but we already have pretty much all this content written, so we can just use it. And it's the same content that was used to create the website, so it's not. I mean, it is essentially walking through the website, if in a sense.
Both our keynote as well as clarifies them. Yeah.
So now I guess the question is who, and I guess we could have somebody else. I mean, I guess we could ask for other volunteers as well, but.
You want multiple or?
No, 10 minutes, we should just pick one person. So I don't know, Paul, what do you think on the who? So I think, okay, anybody else on the what?
and I took some notes on the what, so I'll send that out.
What's the timing? When is this this session?
It would be great if it were happening before our half day, but it's after. It is, and I think it's on the third day. I think it's on the Thursday, during the
Yeah.
keynote on Thursday.
Yeah. I've got it. It's the 15th. So that's the last day at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I wonder if there's any content from our half-day session that we can call out. Is it like that half-day session, is that going to be fully recorded and posted?
Yes, I do believe so. I haven't confirmed that, but I believe that's the case.
Okay, so it might be also worth just mentioning that there was a half-day session and to look for those videos for more in-depth information.
That's a good call to action as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, so the question is, I guess who now? I don't know, Venkat, what do you think?
I can definitely do that. Yeah, I mean, you have done pretty, you have a good, how do I say, radio jockey voice. We speak about having a good video with you.
Yeah,
your presence is good. We will get a good video also. So, I mean, either of us is fine. I mean, that's where I see, right? I mean, we are what, couple of us from the board and the TSC. So it may be, do you think that we can do 5 minutes each? It need not be like elaborate handoff. So that's the alternative. Otherwise,
you and I did it together last time. Maybe, yeah, maybe, maybe we should do it jointly.
yeah, it's just a quick transition, right? With 5 minutes, we hardly have breathing time. So
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, we could even interleave. I mean, we did this last year and it was, like I said, it worked out really well.
Yeah.
So maybe you and I can interleave, Venkat, and that's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, so we'll do that. We'll interleave and then,
And I think I've already got each of your bios and pictures and that sort of stuff. So I'll just get that message over to Lance.
Yeah, well, okay, we'll do that and we'll figure out the exact way to interleave, you know, a few days before, you know, the week before, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know, we could practically ad lib this and it would come off okay, so. All right, cool. So we're set on that.
Perfect. I'm going to put in the notes in the chat what I wrote down. There you go. You should all have that, and that'll have a few of the times and that sort of stuff in there. I will also on my action item list. Now Siri is talking to me. Let Lance know about the keynote. Great. Perfect. Thank you all for working through that one. And I think the third thing on the agenda I had was an update on the finalized list of speakers for the half-day session. Believe we've got that nailed down. We've got if I can find it. So Joe is the moderator for the session. He'll be moderating that. The first speaker is Venkat. You'll be talking about OPI use cases and solutions. You've got 20 minutes to do that. The second presentation is on life cycle and provisioning, and Dong Wei from ARM is going to be doing that session. Boris is helping him with the content and has created a bunch of slides already. Boris is not able to travel, so he won't be there. On APIs, we've got Vipin and Mark Sanders. Mark is able to travel, so he will do it. I do need to get a picture and a bio for Mark.
Yeah, just ask him directly.
Yeah, I'll ask him directly. And I've given them place, where to put the information, all that stuff. The fourth presentation will be on POCs, demos and labs. And that's Mircea will be doing that session. And the fifth session, what is OPI going to do for me? A future looking session. Right now I've got Deb Chatterjee and from Keysight and John Kim both doing that. That is a 30-minute session, and that's the last. And then at the end, we'll have a question and answer with the organizer, the moderators, and the speakers. 25 minutes. Sound good?
That's great. You got all the speakers lined up. That's good.
Yeah, it has been a challenge, but yes, we got all the speakers lined up. And almost all of that information over to the SmartNIC Summit folks. One other topic about SmartNIC Summit, they keep asking if we want a table. They would give us a table. In the past, we've said at this conference, a table doesn't make sense. We'd have to staff the table and all of that. I just don't know. It's from what I heard last year, it was pretty sad. The expo was 6 or 7 tables and no one really swarmed them. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think the overall conference and the way it is done is slightly different than other conferences, but the expo, for some reason, I felt is pretty useful, right? With a lot of guys who are, we're all engineers, right? This is the Silicon Valley. So the guys who showed up, if it is local, is a lot more guys. There's quite a bit of, how do I say, participation at the booths. It is just that the way the room is set up and the kind of infrastructure given to us was not on par with other conferences.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of participation, engagement, discussions, I thought were pretty good. That's one comment. The other is that I forgot which conference we got this OPI board printed and we put it in all the members, booths, right? So we have a presence, so we could showcase OPI also along with, and then whoever else has these.
So get a little stand-up placard or something that everybody can put in their booth.
Let all members do their part, right?
Do we know which member companies are sponsoring?
That's interesting. I can ask Mano, who might know.
Let me go look.
But we could definitely give out stickers and then have that, that small board. I think Paul, you were there, right? I think this was the Austin.
I wasn't there last year. I didn't make it last year.
No, I meant not SmartNIC, but I think in the Austin conference
Yes.
we put guy, right? So we can do something similar. When
Yep.
we don't have our own table, we use all member company tables, right? And
So AMD is there, ARM is there, Ubuntu, Chelsio, Ethernity, FlexLogic, Fungible, Grade, Intel, Keysight, Napatech, Netronome, Xscale. So Keysight, Intel, ARM, maybe AMD would put an OPI.
yeah, we may need small budget to put that.
Yeah, that'll be easy to do, and I'll May and I will work on how we get something like that, 4 or 5 little stand-up little poster board things.
Do you
And
see?
I've ordered about 1,000 stickers. We won't need that many for the show, but hopefully we'll have those. We should have those in time for the show.
Do we want to do like few t-shirts for the OPI participants so that we can wear them and walk around? We are like a moving billboards. We have a cool logo. It's
Yeah.
not-
I'm generally not one that wears a t-shirt to conferences, but that's
Okay.
just me. Do we want to spend money on t-shirts? I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, giving away could be a bigger decision, but just few of them, wearing them may be okay. But depends on what kind and whatnot. Yeah,
mhm.
I don't mind wearing that. I mean, I love these conferences t-shirts. Actually, usually the old ones you can. Again, just a suggestion. Yeah. I mean,
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I'll work with May and see if we can come up with a some number of t-shirts and those stand-up boards. We'll see what happens with that. Get some quotes.
we definitely have a logo worthy of designer wear.
Yeah. Great. Any other topics?
Oh, maybe just again, another heads up, OCP Summit coming up in the fall. We're working through our booth, our demos, and we have the opportunity to have one on hosted or demonstrated from OPI.
Okay. In your booth or a session at OCP?
At this point, we can do it in our booth. And if we
Okay.
want to apply for a general session, we can do that as well, independently of this opportunity. But this one stands simply because we were
Right.
sponsoring, right? So we have that
Perfect.
opportunity. We'd be happy to host it.
I know that I'm pretty certain that has the call for papers date ended already for OCP?
No, it hasn't. It's good till like June 16th, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
June 16th, and we should do both actually, right? I think we're
Yeah.
also participating. So we should do both. We should ask for OPI overview as well as
Okay.
do some things in the booth. I think this may be a standard practice. I'm just thinking because if OPI itself is not going to put a booth, use member companies to kind of
Yeah.
push the messaging, and we could coordinate across among ourselves.
That makes sense, and I suggest we put in at least an overview session of what is OPI, where we could do kind of the sessions we've done in the past. You know, a 45-minute, here's what OPI is, here's the working groups, a longer version of what we were trying to do in that keynote. And then I think we should do a technical demo session there too, if we've got some demos that are.
Yeah, we can reuse some of it from the SmartNIC Summit.
Mhm.
And at OCP, what we could do is not only an overview, I think making it relatable to the folks that attend and the kind of existing projects they have is important. That's how I have seen OCP reject things that don't fit into their model. In terms of they already have open source working groups and projects, right? They say, hey, which project are you related to, right? So, and sometimes you don't enter where it connects to, then it's not relevant to them. And I think we do have, I think, in the API group, we are discussing how it relates to Psi and Sonic and things like that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, would an OPI and Psi or OPI and Dash session be a good one to promote, ask about?
Yeah, OCP is hosting Psi. Sonic is going to Linux Foundation. So so the Psi Sonic is split. I think it's correct way, right? The lower level abstraction going to OCP, that's where it belongs. Linux typically hosts the higher level NAS, network OS kind of project. So it's Sonic is going there, but we could emphasize Psi and say how we relate to that ecosystem. We will have more clarity by then. I think putting a proposal on how we connect to them is more likely to get us. Otherwise, OCP has this, it's difficult to get it. You will see a lot of rejects.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree. And we did a talk at OCP in Prague back in April. And there were a few slides that we added into that from OPI. And that's exactly what we did, Venkat. We made the link between the projects that are promoted in OCP that touch OPI. And if we do a demo, I think that would be the ideal situation, is to have a demo that leverages projects from OCP and to demonstrate that. Keep in mind also that System Ready is tied to OCP. So that's part of their foundational projects as well.
Sorry, could you say the last part? I missed it.
Like System Ready there's portions of System Ready program that are part of OCP as well. So that's another angle we have. Because I think those are the only two, right? SI layer and then System Ready. I don't know of any other projects that intersect with OPI at the moment.
So here, do you, Mark, are you open to do a joint session? We could write a proposal together.
Sorry, repeat that again, Venkat. I missed part of your
I'm
question.
saying that, are you open to a joint proposal for OPI session at OCP? I could write small thing and send it to you, and we can go from there.
Yeah, I think that would be great, right? I think there is an opportunity to submit a session. What I'd like also is to start the discussions around what a demo can look like. What can we do on a booth, for instance? And if there's enough that we can do, enough interest, then we'll make it happen. And that could be hosted on the ARM booth.
Yeah, so there are some demos being built for SmartNIC Summit. So maybe one we could pick up one of that, but we have to submit by June 16th. So by then we'll definitely have clarity on that. I could talk to Mircha. He's working on some of these demos and tutorial kind of material. So he's a better guy. So I'll talk to him and maybe post it in the group.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good, Venkat. I'm happy to do a session there with you on OPI.
Excellent. Sounds good. Well, anyone have any other topics? If not, I say we close it. Not hearing any. Thank you, everyone. Have a great Tuesday. Oh, was there a question out there?
I said later. Bye.
All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.